Well, we're getting into late August now. It's starting to get cool at night, which is our favorite kind of weather. Getting into hoodie weather. So just thought I'd do another quick tour, show you all the stuff that we've done. Excuse me, this outdoor kitchen has proven to be a wonderful addition. I still have to do the built-ins here, but this keeps us out of the bugs and the rain and the sun and everything else while we're cooking. I'll find something to do with the barbecue. My neighbor would say I'm lazy because I had some cordwood brought in, but we did indeed bring in a couple more bush cords, so that'll be a year's worth of wood for us up here. The cabin itself has not changed a whole lot other than, just regular usage. So this building has been like the anchor to this whole place. We're gonna repaint the porch, I think, at some point. My wife has ambition to do that, but I thought I'd do a tour while we're clean here. I don't have stuff everywhere other than dirt bike helmets sitting around. So this building is just like we always see it when we come up. It's pretty happy just to be hanging. Oh, I left the EcoFlow on. This is just always plugged into a solar panel, so I'll turn that off. When we leave, we just leave the fridge open. Just let things breathe. This will probably be full. Lots of bugs up there. We'll have to do a little bit of cleaning and maintenance next time we come back. So this little cabin's been a blessing. I'll pull this down just to give you a peek. I don't know if I have any video of the loft. So up here, it's kind of dark. But this is our overflow sleeping space. So we got a queen size bed on this side. Surprisingly, a fair amount of room up here. It's like a 4-foot loft. And that's really dark, but there's a couple of twins over there. So we can sleep 4 up here. This is where, an additional family that comes up can certainly spend some time. There'll be dudes up there during our annual Fall Guys weekend. And then over into the master cabin. That panel there is for the dedicated EcoFlow for this building. We do intend to put a wood stove right here in this corner at some point, I think. But this thing works so well as a heater that I've had no urgency to do that at all. So this build is served us really well as the master bedroom. It's set up just like a hotel room. I slept on the couch last night. I came up here late. I'm just delivering a sea container up here. And the big win for us recently was getting the bathroom done. So we now have the incinerating toilet has always worked well, but now we have the shower plumbed in at least for the drain. I think in a previous video I showed you how we just use a submersible pump to make all that work. So this cabin is now sort of settled in. We've had it for quite some time. This is, where we have movie night up here and hotspot off of a cell phone onto a smart TV. But we're totally off grid, right? Like this building has its own dedicated EcoFlow Delta. And it's been wonderful. No complaints at all. Now we build these buildings. I mean, I own the company Highland Outbuildings. So I'm biased, of course, but I think we do a wonderful job. That thing is just graying naturally. We're gonna let that sit for another season and see what it does. It's really starting to change color, which is kind of cool. This one we put a full coat of stain on. So this is the kids' sleeping bunky. We are gonna add a set of steps in front of this in the near future here. So on our recent trip up here, we had all the nephews and kids up here. So these are double under twin bunks. This is kind of the size, the sort of space you get out of a 10 by 16. Same thing on both sides, double under twins. This does have a Martin heater. That's an 11,000 BTU unit, which is appropriately sized for this building. And enough room for the kids to put all their stuff and have some private space away from the rest of us. We can also send them over here when they're getting too noisy, so it's nice to have that. The newest addition, this building's also a 10 by 16. We just had Grandma and Papa up here for a visit recently, and this is designed as a couple's cabin. So that's a queen size bed. This is how much space you can expect when you put a full-size bed in a building like this. This building is beautiful. Lots of windows. This one overlooking the field, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I got some work to do there this fall. Lots of light. Again, an insulated building. We will add a heater to this. So we'll just figure out where to put that. Probably over here somewhere. It'll be the same heater that we have in the kids' sleeping bunky right next door. So we'll tie into the 100-pound tanks that are in the back there. And then the field, I mean, I'm hours away from home to get up here, so it's hard to move stuff around. The logistics gets a little bit tricky, so we got like a barely started on leveling this whole thing out. That big burn pile will get lit as soon as the daytime fire ban ends up here, which comes in the fall. And then all this thrash around the exterior, I got to get the grapple going on the tractor. That's a project I've been putting off for way too long. I have the wrong hydraulic fittings. So we want to pick all that stuff up, stick it on the pile, and get all that burnt down. And then I'll move all these logs out of the middle of the field into somewhere more appropriate so that we can grade the rest of this. But I think I can get all this done with a box scraper. So I'm hoping, we'll cross our fingers on that. It's certainly, it's a big job for a 25 horsepower tractor. And you can see there's a lot of this is a dip here. That's 2 feet lower than the rest of it, right? So I got a lot of work to do to move earth around. And we're just hoping there's not too many rocks. So it is interesting though. This will sort of be the last few weeks of a full canopy. Starting to get cold at night, so that means the leaves will start to turn. This is a largely deciduous forest on our property. A lot of maples, poplars. All the beech have died, which is weird. I don't know why. But the family compound is pretty much done at this point. I think we might add one more build that would act as just like a big old outdoor living room. But we're gonna do some considerations for the possibility of adding a pond up here. I do have an artesian spring that runs for forever. So it'll fill the pond up. It's just so many trees to move and there's a lot of stuff to check out. Over here we just have an old tool shed that's gonna come out of here. I'll replace that with one of our buildings. It's kind of done its job, but the floor's rotting out and the roof's in rough shape from branches kind of falling off of it. This here is actually worth talking about. That's our incinerator. So any paper products, we just burn in there. It does have a spark arrestor on it. That way we limit the amount of garbage that we have to take home. And then I don't know if I've ever put this on film either. So this was one of the original buildings on the property. Nice little walk up the trail. This little outhouse was here when we bought the place. And even though we have a Cinderella incinerating toilet, I still prefer to use this. So, you know, shit tickets go in here, hand sanitizer, whatever. This has been well used and will continue to be so. I think it's got a few years left in it. It's been sitting here for 20 years, so why not just let it keep sitting there? If that hole ever fills up, we'll probably just build another one and maybe excavate that hole a little bit. So, oh, I should check out. My favorite thing about the property is our twin oaks. And for reference, this is like a rough trail that we cut in. I'm gonna come up here with my little excavator soon and start digging out more trails for the boys on the dirt bikes. It's a lot of work. The kids are like, why don't we have more trails? Oh, this has really sprouted in the last couple of months. So this little guy, we'll keep an eye on it. There's some fresh growth on the top of that, which really makes me happy. That was nothing but an acorn a couple of years ago. So we keep close eyes on this. I'm hoping it'll just grow nicely. It won't get eaten by a rabbit or something like that. So next trip up here, we'll be stacking firewood and just kind of winterizing stuff, making sure we're good to go coming into fall. This place does winterize really easily. It's really just some antifreeze in the lines and then let the rest sit the way that it is. We'll check all the propane levels, fill up the wood crib. And it's weird to say it, but I would think sometime in the next couple of months, it'll be snowing up here. There's a little update for you folks. This is our off-grid family compound. We're loving it. Cheers.